Welcome to livingpianos.com. Robert Estrin here with a subject that the title may be confusing to you. You might wonder if I've gone off the deep end with this subject, which is how the Well-Tempered Clavier are like Bach chorales. Now, if you know the Well-Tempered Clavier, you know that these are monumental works Bach decided to write to celebrate tuning technology in no small part. The fact that it was possible that instruments could be tuned in such a way that it's possible to play in all the keys. Before that, instruments had to be tuned for specific keys. He decided to write all preludes and fugues in every single major and minor key. But there's 48 preludes and fugues because he did it twice. There's 2 books of preludes and fugues. Now, the fugues are masters of counterpoint. The preludes are beautiful little gems in their own right. Now, the parallel here is the 4-part writing in Bach chorales is, I dare say, the basis for the writing of not only the preludes and fugues, but really all of Western music, one could argue. Now, I had the good fortune of studying 4-part harmony with my father for the time I was a young child and really mastered the art of voice leadings, doublings, and all of that. And it stays with me to this day to understand the structure of music I'm studying, as well as for composing or arranging. Now, to see the relationship between the Bach chorales, which are the pure 4-voice writing, soprano, alto, tenor, and bass, and what he did in the preludes and fugues, I'm going to just show you a little glimpse. I chose at random a chorale, something I could find easily, and then I'm going to take a couple of Bach preludes and show you that they're not that different. So here's a chorale I found, and let's see what we've got here. Now, naturally, none of the preludes are just in 4 voices, but they're still based upon the same structure of harmony, voice leadings, doublings, and all of that. So the famous C major prelude from the very first one of Book 1, what would happen if it were to be played as a more like a 4-voice chorale? Because you know the prelude, of course, so if I were to play it with some passing tones and other non-chord tones, listen how it really is not so different from a Bach chorale. Now you may be thinking, well, of course, that prelude, it's obvious. But what about another prelude that maybe is not as obvious, like the C minor prelude, also from Book 1? Well, in there really is the fundamental structure of a chorale. So you can hear the derivation from the harmonies. Looking at the music of Bach, Beethoven, Brahms, Shostakovich, there's this same foundation of the essential elements of a Bach chorale. It's all just embellishment of one sort or another. Did you ever realize that? How everything back then has just grown like a whole garden of possibilities or a forest of music. From this original seeds of inspiration of the masters going back centuries. It's really remarkable how the language of music has grown, and you can hear here how the Bach chorale transcends into more complex music. And we could go further, whether it's Beethoven, a second movement of one of his sonatas like the Opus 10 number 1, for example, which is this beautiful movement. It's essentially a chorale. It's broken up, but it's the same basic structure. It's remarkable, isn't it? I want you to think about your music, whatever music you're playing, whether it's 21st century or 15th century even, how these same elements have been in music all along, exemplified beautifully in Bach chorales. I hope this has been interesting for you. Again, I'm Robert Estrin, livingpianos.com, your online piano resource. Thanks for ringing that bell with a thumbs up. We'll see you next time.